Must be a way to automate this. Hey, halfway. Running out of time. Come on. Oops. Hello! Oh, that looked loud. Is that just me shouting? Turn that down slightly. Right, I'm trying something different today. I've turned the bitrate up. Because YouTube was getting angry at me for it being at 2,500, but I don't know if this is going to cause a problem. So let me know if you can hear me and see everything, if the volume's right or not. Hello everybody. Oh yeah, sorry. This is not what we're doing. What was I doing? This was last night. I hope I finished what I was doing. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's start the editor up. Right. Yeah. Mike, I just saw that exactly as I was starting the stream. Yes, it's a fantastic name. The Promised Land. Okay, so what we did is last time we were working on the demo, the special Fire Ant level for Gamescom. I'm going to carry on with that now. In the middle, we had a big problem, which wasn't really a problem because it was easy to work around, but I wasted best part of, it wasn't an hour, was it? It was more like 45 minutes trying to fix it. But I can show you what went wrong now, actually. for anyone that was here last time. So let's go into that level, and so it'll only take me a minute. We haven't technically fixed the problem, but it's easy to work around. So I'll show you what's happening. Right. So if you remember, we have this long bridge. After I've shown this problem, I'll draw the blueprint up in Paint again. I really should save it, but it's fun to draw it each time, right? So this is the objective of this mission is to get across this, like to build a really long bridge of fire ants here. And what we found was if we put the edge of the fire ant bridge sort of offset so it's not a straight line, and then I need to rejoin these bridge tiles, and then grab the tile grid, path, and then rebuild the paths, right? So, do you see this nice little truss of triangles here? That indicates extra paths that are being made. So in the path finding algorithm, it checks, how to get from tile to tile. It uses a hexagon grid system, and we attach all of the hexagons to each other. Each hexagon touches 6 hexagons, but it doesn't just touch the nearest 6. It touches another 6 that aren't actually touching, but it connects to them, so it can make more finer angles on the paths, and they should all be connected for the algorithm to work. Now, if you notice, if I make this flash again, these green lines indicate how the paths attach to each other. These nodes are attaching to hexagon nodes around them, and they're only attaching to the closest ones, right? So if I play, and this is what was happening before when we played, if I try and put the marker over here, we get this path failure issue because it can't path across. And we sort of got to the bottom of it. We said, you know what, if it's more than 1 tile thick, it's not working. That's good enough for us, and we made the straight path, the straight bridge. So I'll just show you what's happening. If I go into I want the bridge head. Let me have a look. Fire ant bridge head. Okay. So you'll see here, this is done when we press that update paths button. All the paths are built, and then because there's a bridge, it sets up special paths for the bridge and makes those spheres around it that block it off. And here, this is the problem here. We're going through all the bridge nodes, check all the potential neighbor tiles for bridge tiles, make sure it wants to connect to them, and then this connects the tiles together, right? So there's a number on each tile that's tells it whether it's connected to all of these 12 neighbors. And you see this is set to go from 0 to 6. The reason it's only set to go to 6 is because I assumed that bridges would always only be 1 tile thick, so it only needs to do the 6 surrounding tiles. If we change that to 12, right here, check it out, save that, compile. There's no estimate to when the fire ants are going to be added. Really soon, as soon as humanly possible. Well, not quite that soon, otherwise I wouldn't be procrastinating, showing you what happened. But I know some people might be interested. I did waste a lot of your time, so just take me a second. But you're going to be able to play with them a little bit, hopefully in 2 weeks' time when Gamescom starts, and then we'll take them away again. But then they'll be reappearing very shortly after that. Fingers crossed. Unless something goes terribly wrong, which it might. So I'm not going to say a date. Okay, that's done. Now if I press this again, we'll do the tile pathing data again. and it's made absolutely no difference. Ha ha ha. Always check all the potential neighbour tiles for bridge tiles. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Bridge. You know what? I think it's this one instead. Yeah, that's the that's just connecting to the bridge head. What's in here? Oh, I wanted to show you it working. Where's it gone? That's the twin bridge heads. You know what? I won't waste time messing with this now. You get the general idea, though. One of these loops sews those bridge tiles together. I really wanted to show those little lines, though. That's if it's not equal, so they'll be along the same route. Anyway. This block tile can reach the... I'll check this one. It was so clear on Sunday. If this doesn't work, I'll leave it. I don't want to waste any more time. We know what the problem is now. I'll show you how to work around it. Let me just see if that did it. No, it's not that one either. Alright, I'm not going to trial and error this. I should be able to read that, but I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, that was the problem. And the workaround is to grab the spline and add a spline point. Okay, so you see this long white line? That's intersecting a load of hexagons, and that's choosing which ones are going to be converted into bridge tiles. And we just want a single layer, so we need a sort of very fiddly, but we need to sort of bend this like this. Maybe that'll do the trick. Yeah? You see how that's now only one thick. And then if I play this, it's fine. And there's a sort of kink in the bridge there. So that's how we can do bridges that have that middle bit. We have to mess with this spline. Right. Now, actually, I kind of like the straight bridge. I don't know, maybe we should... We can make a really, like, wobbly one. Something we can... Maybe we can mess with that later, because that is a part of the balancing, is making that bridge the right size. Will the demo be available after it's done? The demo will be available briefly, like it's a special event demo, and we'll get some feedback from it, and then we'll take it down because it's not going to be properly painted. It's going to be the jungle, and we want this to be the swamp to match the next update. So we started last time putting patrols in. Okay, so let's do a quick overview. we've got three, sort of one island here. If I play it, you can see better. We've got one island where the player is, and then we've got these three little islands and three even tinier islands. And when the water's high like this, we can make little fire ant bridges to all of the different islands. You just need enough ants to be able to form the bridges. And what's going to happen is when the water's high like this, creatures are going to spawn on the islands and build up, and then when the water goes down, they're all going to run down the ramps. Can I move the water? I don't think I can. But they're going to run down the ramps and then run up to attack you, and they'll all come at the same time. So you'll want to take them on one at a time, try and kill as many as you can so they don't all hit you at the same time and overwhelm you. The other thing is that there's going to be nice little food bonuses that appear on these islands and then disappear when the water goes down. Fire ants will be playable on free play. I don't know if they'll be playable straight away. I think it would be good, but it might be just after the update. It depends how smoothly they go in. All the termites nest have nest burrowing ability, so you can attack your queen at an unexpected moment. That's pretty complex stuff. Don't think so. No, I mean, never say never. I'm sure there's scope for special missions where we do that sort of thing. Right. My theory is correct. Okay. Okay, right. I'm going to carry on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up patrols on all of these islands. Right, so I want... Let's just start with... We set up Spiny Devil patrols, right? And I'm just going to use Spiny Devils everywhere just to get the level working. Okay. That looks good. Right. Some patrol points down. Now we need to grab this patrol manager. Pardon me. That's a spoon class. Patrol route. We need a new patrol. Right. There's controls for this, but I didn't go too well last time. And I think I can fill them all out here, so I'm just going to do that for now. Should work fine, should add all the defaults in. Okay, so we're going to call this Island 1, because it's the one at the bottom, calling this number 1. What's your question, Gonzo? Will they be playable in the... Oh, it's a good question. It's a very good question. They won't be playable in the campaign. But, you know, a lot of the ants that... I'll say a lot. Some of the ants that are playable, that aren't playable in the campaign do turn up in free play, because they do have all their bits. But mainly you'll be playing fire ants in the campaign. Let me grab patrol points. There's 4. I'll just connect all of these. Great. We want spawn points. How many are there? I think there's just 1. Everyone's going to come out of there. And I don't think there's anything else I need to set up here. Keep the colony ideas -1. Oh, we want random patrols. I don't want them actually patrolling. Ah, and the spawn mass. Ooh, right, okay, hang on. I've got to save this and pull because Okay. John just made a change to spawn mass, I think, so that it's normalized by the weight, the danger mass, we call it, of a black ant. So this number's more understandable. I'll just check if that's the case. I'm going to have to close the editor, so we can't pull whilst that's open. And I'm just going to check. Yeah, John's done that. So I'll grab that. Okay, back into the editor, and we'll see if it works. It will be one of the biggest updates in history. We seem to do more each time there's an update. But actually we've been doing a lot of work for the next 2 updates this time. That's why it's taken so long. But it's more efficient. It'll mean there'll be much less of a wait between this update and the next update, because 2 years is too long. It needs to be less than that. So we've streamlined things by doing a lot of stuff for the next 2 updates together, but of course that slowed us down doing this update. What's spawn them in random corners of the nest? You're talking about termites. But possibly we might have some burrowing creatures coming up. Wow. And so there could be something that we could just grab and then apply to termites as well. But I shouldn't say too much. How about the final for me? The mad scientist fuse all the ants put in the campaign. One final boss level. What makes you think we haven't conceived of a mega final boss level already? Okay, base level spawn mass, normalized spawn mass. There we go. Oh, that's nice. That's quite good. All right, so this number here is now supposed to be equivalent to a black ant. So we're going to say 100 black ants are going to spawn, but they're not actually 100 black ants. It's going to be 100 black ants worth of the composition that we choose to spawn here. That's the theory. I'm going to put this patrol in now. This is going to be Island 3. Yeah, fine. Yeah, Island 3. It goes Island 2, Island 1, Island 3 in that order. It's not a problem. Patrol points. There's 4 of them. Just gonna grab those in no particular order. Grab the spawn point. I believe there's only 1. Colony ID stays the same, full randomization, and then we'll keep that spawn mass the same. Right, what's this? Editor patrol. The order patrol routes are cycled through by the editor. If a route is added without the widget, it will need to be updated in order for the widget to recognize it. Oh, right, I see. I don't think we need to worry about this then, because I'm not using, this is for this patrol setup widget, and I skipped it. So I guess it can't scroll through them. But I could actually. Oh right, okay. Hang on, I'll put them in anyway. So if I do that, will this? Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Right. Let's open the level blueprint. We've got a button that launched the creatures. And what I can do is I can launch the other islands. Island 1, Island 2, Island 3. We put them all in the same bucket and we can send them to sleep with the comma. Let's save in case we crash. Don't bring about the old sources. So many ideas. I'd love to make levels where you play all of the ants in all scenarios, and maybe with time, because we've got this, you know, extra levels that we can be producing, but like you can only come up with so many ideas for the campaign, because the campaign levels take, you know, so much effort and care to construct, so you can't do every single possibility. It would be nice if there was a level editor for other people to use, but again, you can't have everything, and it wasn't something we had in mind when we started the project, so it's going to be difficult. But you know, never say never on anything. We'll keep moving forward, and we'll keep adding stuff. Right now we're adding some spiny devils, so they've spawned on all the islands. Look at that. Out they come. And then if I press comma, they should all go to sleep. Except for these two. We've had enough of each other. Oh, there's a tiny one that's died in the middle there. Why isn't this one going to sleep? Did they just double... It was a double KO. Oh, and this one's dead. Right, there was a massive fight here, and they didn't make it to sleep. Okay. You know, I was asking John earlier if there's a control for that. So there's something in what's controlling these creatures called the Swarm Special Patrol, or at least it was called that. That periodically changes the colony ID of the creature randomly. To make them have a little fight, but they're supposed to change it back, and it's not supposed to happen too often, and there should be some controls for it, but there aren't any here at the moment, but we won't worry about that too much. If I press full stop again, we should get a new set of creatures, shouldn't we? But we're not. Oh, because we're docked. There we go. New set of creatures, new set of creatures, new set of creatures. Everyone go home. Takes them a little while to go home. You have to go to where they're headed, and they end up in a fight like this. There's too much fighting going on, and they're not obeying their commands. In fact, they're not obeying at all. Are you going home or not? They're not going home. So we've got our first problem. So the first set go home, subsequent sets don't go home. Right. I don't really want to be debugging the patrol manager, but it looks like that's the next place. You know what? If I launch again, I bet it overrides the tracking bucket. Which is fair enough. Creature tracking bucket. Oh no, it tries to find it. If it's there, empty it. Oh. Tracked creatures empty. Then add. And then spawn those buckets, creature corner. Yeah. What happens with this current tracking bucket? Right. This is a little bit of a problem because it looks like we only save one bucket whilst creatures are being spawned, which means a patrol manager can't work on 2 buckets at the same time. It's not necessarily a big issue. You could have multiple patrol managers, but I don't think that was the idea. Tracking bucket. So this tracking bucket is got an F creature tracking, and that's got an array of creatures in it. Yeah. And unfortunately, when this ticks, it's got an interval timer. It wouldn't be much to change this to just being able to work on different buckets separately. And it won't come up right now. Where does send creatures to sleep? That's just going to go through all of them and send them all to sleep. That's fine. Okay. Right. Alright, as long as we just use one bucket and we only launch that bucket once, it's fine. But it, with the current setup, does beg the question, why name the tracking bucket if you can only use one at a time? You'd have to really you'd have to remember when this, if you got 5 seconds between each creature, you wouldn't necessarily know when it had finished spawning if you wanted to start another tracked bucket. So finds the tracking bucket, spawned a creature. This spawn bracket timer is set on launched creatures. Now really, there should be a spawn bracket timer for every creature tracking bucket. And then you can just cycle through them and have different buckets that go to sleep at different times. Or should we just implement that quickly? I think that's a good idea. Got a spawn interval, current spawning routes. Oh, this isn't a very big thing, is it? So we've got current spawning routes. We've got Yeah, all these things are only used in that tick. Although this to populate. Okay, so this is the special patrol point, feature class lid. Weights. So it's adding them all to a special patrol, which is fine. That's fine. That all happens instantly, so that's fine. So although this is going to do something per route, isn't it? Each route has a... Right, okay, now I'm not going to mess with it. Right, so if we need more buckets, at the moment, I'm going to make a new patrol manager. That's just going to be the sensible thing to do, I think, right now. So I'm going to make a day patrol manager and a night patrol manager in case I want these to overlap. I'll call this although there should be only one group for spawning when the water's high. Main creatures, main enemies. So I've got a name for it. I'll work on this. And one other thing that we need to do is we need another function like this: send tracking buckets to sleep. And what we need is we'll have okay, so what we're going to do here is there's going to be all the creatures are going to build up. Then when the water comes down, they've all got to attack the player. Now at the moment there isn't anything that I can see in this patrol manager that does that. It just lets things spawn on the patrols and then sends them back to sleep. So we need to put this in. Now in order to check what that should look like. Okay, never mind. I'll fix that in a second. What we need to do is we'll save this, and I'll go to one of the old levels, just see how it's done. I think we spawn a swarm point and then swap everything over. Check out the patrol manager. Right. Save that. I'm going to go into 3.2. And we're going to have a look in here at how the creatures are sent to attack. Oh no, it's not 3-2, of course it isn't. What am I talking about? It's the demo level we want. The old demo level, so it's actually going to work in a very similar way. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Level blueprint, and when the creatures reach a certain size, and the creature attack logic will be in here. Blah 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 blah. Spawn. Yeah, this is storing them all, which we don't need to do anymore because it's all done on the manager. Right, what's this? Creatures alive. Number of pending creatures is greater than the critical mass. Okay, great. So now this is the bit that sends them all to the player. And what it does is it deregisters them. Let's have a look at this. I reckon this will deregister them when it sets up closest creature specific despawn, which I'm guessing does a deregister. Right, just sets this ball true, which I'm sure then will deregister it. Okay, so we want to do the same thing. Deregister from the swarm patrol, and then set the swarm point as the player's queen. Does that just do it? That's on the swarm. This is on the creature, right? And then it gets its swarm point here. Is there just a normal, like, can I just cast despawn on that creature? This goes through. And that's an array that removes it. That doesn't seem very efficient at all. I suppose it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. What I can do. What does that do? I mean, I bet that's not. Escape, set up escape. If there's a spawn point, we use it as the despawn point things. It's a special patrol, so you know what, I'm just going to do the same thing for now. Just going to do the same thing. we need the swarm patrol, which will be on the swarm creature knew where it was. I've lost that now. What was it? It was set up closest creatures, that one there, and then it's got a swarm point. Swarm creature should have a swarm point. And that's just an actor. I'm going to want... Don't I have a... Oh, there should be... There's only going to be one... What's this route? Patrol routes. I need to find the routes that it's on. And again, the book is just a list of creatures, but all of the creatures will be on the same route. So the bucket should really know what route it's in. Patrol routes is patrol manager, patrol. Right, this is all the stuff in it, but it's actually not. And it's got a special patrol point. There it is, and this should be an extension of swarm. Yeah. Right. So the question is can I find this from the bucket? I suppose send tracking bucket. I'll just put it in here. Where's route to populate is this is a list of F names, so patrol route's just a map from the name to that, so it should just be the name of it, and then I'll just store that. I'll store that here. And then creature tracking bucket, it's got a name, it makes one, and we've got, the tracking bucket can have multiple routes. And so I'm not going to know which creature it is. You know, I don't really like this. Okay. I mean, if I've got to make multiple managers anyway. Right, we'll have one bucket and it's got many routes. Fine. We'll just find the creature's swarm point inside the loop. it's got a swarm point, we want to register swarm creature. That's correct, isn't it? That's what we want to do. And then we want to set the, I mean, at least we won't have to keep looking at the queen. So game state. Where have I gone? I've got lost. We need a reference to the queen because we're going to attack the queen. Fish, fish, fish. Oh, see, the fish has happened. What's wrong with this? Right. Game state. Are we in the right place? We are not in the right place. Patrol manager is inside world. Utilities is inside. Okay. How about that? Yeah, okay. It's there. Perfect. Okay. Should be happy with that now. Come on, help me out here. I can just get it. The queen is a creature, isn't she? I assume she is, so it doesn't matter. Okay, is that the where's the tile grid? There we go, it's there. Are you not happy yet? Okay, there we go. Alright, so if there's a queen, we will go through this process. sending everyone to the queen. So we'll deregister the swarm creature. What's the problem with that? Too few arguments. Is that supposed to have... Oh, it needs to know what creature we're deregistering. And that is going to be the tracked creature, which is a swarm creature. Yeah. And then we're going to want swarm point. You just set it like that? Maybe we do. I don't know if we need any behavior setting or something. Oh, hang on, that says queen swarm. Is that the actual queen, or what is that? Is that a swarm point at the queen? It is a swarm point, okay. You know what we'll do? We'll just send it in like that. We'll just send it in like that. Right. This seems confused. Maybe it's because I don't know. What's the problem here? Let's let it catch up and figure out what the problem is. There isn't a syntax error there, is there? There might be. I'll compile it and see what it says. Send it to the swarm point. Find the bucket to send. And then for every creature, we find its swarm point. We deregister it from the swarm point, and we set its new swarm point to this one that's gone in. So it turns out this was all unnecessary. We'll do it on the level. And then does this do anything else? Like, does this remove it from the... Nope, it doesn't do anything to the bucket. The bucket still remembers who was in it. I guess the bucket will just be overridden. Okay. Cool. Right, let's run with that. Are you happy now? I think you are. The queen can't fight back because for no reason, really. She can't. You know, I wish she could, but I mean, it's something a lot of people ask for, but it's one of those things that, you know, it seems like a really simple thing you'd like her to do, and I don't think it'd make that much difference to the game. It's just something that occurs to you. I wish you could fight back, but the amount of work we'd have to do, because everything's built around the idea that the queen can't move, like where the eggs come from, how the distances are calculated in the job system for moving eggs around the map. There's all sorts of assumptions all through the game, right from the beginning, that are based on the queen not moving. So even though it would seem like a small thing to let her fight back a bit, even spinning on the spot would probably introduce some interesting problems. And so that's really the reason why we haven't tackled it. It's not because we think she shouldn't be able to fight back. It's just it doesn't seem, the reward doesn't seem worth the price because of how we've set things up. It's our fault, but it's done now, isn't it? Okay, launch creatures. How about send to swarm point? We'll get rid of this. And we need a swarm point. And we're going to send it to... We don't even need that colony ID now. That's not needed. This is a much better way of doing things. So... you got an underscore? Yeah. Swarm BP. Ooh, how would you set one of these up? Movement freedom, swarm temperament. Only attack would make sense. Oh no, movement freedom, movement radius, despawn radius, colony ID, colony location. One be in location 0. Current target. Should I have a current target? You know what, let me just have a look. I'll have a look at the one and what, instead of trying to figure out all this, I'll just have a look at how the one set up on the other level. Just be faster. Okay. Specials. Okay. Alright, okay. Swarm, Queen Swarm. Bam bam. Oh, do nothing. Fine. I mean, I suppose it's on the Queen, so. Void ant nests. Patrol points. It's like it's got. Right, it's got the right. Its location. Its colony ID is 0. That's odd. I thought its ID should be the same as the enemies that are coming. Like, it's really weird. There's nothing in the target. No target point. There should be something never kill swarm. Yeah. Okay. Is there something in here for like? I guess anything can enter anyway. Do the frogs swim? Frogs can swim. Depends if there's if they fancy going near the water, I suppose. Is that set to never? Yeah, because it'll just disappear otherwise because there's nothing in it. Right. Okay, so let's go. Get that. Shove that in there. Shove that there, and then this needs to go. That should go back to 2. Oh, it's left bracket. Okay. Save. You want the return of goldfish? Well, I've got a surprise for you, because over the weekend we've all been working very hard. No, we haven't made a goldfish. Sorry. Sorry. What we have made is a patrol point underground, a swarm point underground, and hopefully we'll be able to launch the creatures. And you do realise the probability of this working first time is practically 0. Let's bring the water down. What button did I put it on? It was common, wasn't it? And it has done nothing. The creatures are continuing with their lives. Alright. Let's have a look and see if we made any obvious mistake. Okay. Should found it. Okay, out you go. Lower the water. Not that it matters if it's not working. And okay, so we've got a tracking bucket, we've got a creature, and we're deregistering it, and we're setting it swarm point. Wait, really? Oh yeah, swarm point. And yet they don't go anywhere. Where's that swarm point? Let's bring it over here to the land. Weirdly, I suppose there's something. No, that would have crashed anyway. These still seem to be patrolling. What are you doing? It's still got its old patrol point. And this is just checking its swarm point. So somehow this is not getting set. What have I done? What have I done? Whoa, dear me. Idiot. You can't be more of an idiot. Can you? How did no one spot that? Huh? Right, I gotta save this, close it, recompile, and then it'll definitely work. Oh. Right. Close. Compile. Back in a sec. Right, what's going on? There's a problem with the blueprints, 'cause we made a change. Scorpion. Interesting ideas. What about a scorpion? Down, down goes the water, and then, like magic, the spiny devils all charge across the map. Hey! Look at that. Let's stick this swarm point back where it belongs. See if that works. Creatures out. Creatures go. Oh, they're going for it. I know. I fancy my chances, to be honest with you. I think 216 fire ants with infinite respawn capability can handle this. So we just leave them. See how far the spiny devils get. The big ones have gone first. all of the eggs popping around them. They're not going to get anywhere. Now we should be able to press full stop and comma again, because that bucket should have been emptied. And it should send these ones as well. Yeah, so the spawn manager is reusable that way. But if I keep pressing full stop, it'll only send some of them across. Right, I need to stop like enjoying this and get on with it. But first, we're going to fight these in a big, massive mess because it's fun. I like the all the fanfares of the pops. There we go. Everybody's dead. Right. So now we know that that works. I'm going to use a separate patrol manager to spawn the stuff here, because I might want a different launch period and a different starting time. And then, I mean, really, what should I do next? Shall we have, I mean, we can have a day-night cycle, and we could have the water going up and down with the day and the night. Or we could have it, usually things are tied to the day-night cycle. But we could have them kind of independent. Just have a day-night cycle that rotates and the water that rotates independently. It's good indication for the player to know when the water is going to change height based on the time of day. So what do you think? Yeah, I'm gonna disconnect them because they're not often disconnected. So I'll set up the day-night cycle anyway, so the scene changes a bit, and then we'll have the creatures spawning and the water going up and down on a separate timer, which we'll have to put like an objective timer in the top left saying, you know, when the water's going to flood again. I think that's the best way to do it. So let's set up some necessary things. Ooh, the day-night cycle isn't here, is it? Of course it wouldn't be. Of course it wouldn't be. Dings. I'm going to use the same structure as this. Okay, very good. you do that. You do that. Oh, that's not a thing. And nor is that. Nor is that. Okay, okay, that's fine. I want these two. That's set. Doesn't need to be called the same thing. Not really. Do that. We'll have a timers function which needs to take a delta time. What's wrong with this? There's something already called delta time in here. Weird. This allowed it. This didn't. I don't know why it wouldn't let me call that delta time, but it's now delta timer. That's fine, and this will do this. So I want to copy this across. If I don't want to do that. Let's delta timio. Now these, this are local. Yep. And then that's a main variable. I want this in a category, I think. And then this should be the level methods. Do we have a level methods? We do. Pop that there. Away. Right. So tick timers. And it's got to have an output. Where? I haven't got a... It's not happy having the same names as what I copied it from, but they don't exist in this instance. I don't know why. This is ready to progresso. And then I guess that's just going to be, oops. This is just going to be the local variable ready to progress. So we'll just chuck that in there. So that's going to tick the day. And then we need to set them all up here. So this is the level methods again. There's an error here. Could not find disable in today section progress. Could you not find it? You can now. We don't need to set these difficulties. But you know what? They might be useful to have. Don't want to reinvent the wheel if it turns out that we need them, do we? So let's have a look. These are level director stuff. Fresh category level director. Difficulty is int. Oh, I don't think I'm going to need beast spawn difficulty. Refresh them. We don't need these. Okay, so this is going to set up the starting time of day. Just save. And then all we need to do now is set up the rate of change of the day. And then we should have a sun and a moon going across the sky. Is this got two on it? Length of day. What are we calling these? Environmental controls. That's a nice name. I'm copying all the names over. Okay, and then these are time day begins, time just begins. These are locals, aren't they? Oh no, they're needed elsewhere. I don't think they are. But we might, I don't know, we might look them up. And we definitely need this. We need this. We don't need that, whatever that is. This is the day-night manager. Do we have one of those? We do. Oh. Oh no, this wanted the level methods. Day 6. Oh right, okay, so this is actually not to do with this is to do with the timings rather than the actual. And this is the day-night manager, it goes in here. Look how ugly I'm doing this. You don't get nice looming in demo levels. Safe. Okay. Bye-bye. Who's leaving? Indominus Rex King official. Liam, water is not kill ants so easily. I know, it's a game though. Water kills creatures that we decide can't swim. I mean, up until we worked on Fire Ants, there was no scope for anything being able to float. And now things can float, but it's got to be... You know, ants can climb up vertical walls as well, and they can't in Empires of the Undergrowth. It's there really to help with the gameplay, but it's not very realistic. Just think of the water like it's lava. Right. That should be set up. I'll bring that into there. That's the tick timers. Level setup. Okay. And now the last thing to sort out is this is level methods. The level methods should tick along, and then we've got tasks for different types of times of day. So we need the day-night manager. And we need level methods. So this is nighttime tasks, so it fades to dawn over the course of the length of the night. Then we get a string on the screen that says it's nighttime, and then we multiply the length of the night by 0.8 to get this timer, and then after that the whip spider launches. So I'm just going to put here just some nonsense. I mean, I could delete this, but I just want to keep it in case we want to put something in. I don't think we do. And we don't need to do anything like that because we're not tying creature launches to the day-night cycle. So we don't need any of this. We don't really need that. Okay. Save. There is no... Liam, try not to pay any attention to chat. What's going on in the chat? What do I need to pay attention to? Nothing much is happening, is it? Just complaining that ants shouldn't die on the water. My laptop keeps going to sleep. Alright. Tasks 2. Turn this back on so you can see the chat. Oh. It's fine. I want level methods. This is another one. It's going to do stuff that we don't really care about. Excuse me. Actually, when this starts... Ah, right, this is just at the start. Okay, so we start the fade with the day-night manager. And then... That's the main and section timer. The intersection timer, I don't really care about this time. Don't care about that at all. Don't care about that. And then we'll set these up. I'm guessing that's... Ooh. Is that level methods or the day-night manager? No, it's the day-night manager. There we go. And in there. Oh, this is for the conductor, so that the music will change. Do we even have a conductor? We do have a conductor. Let's just let it know that it's daytime. I don't think that's how the conductor changes the track, but I'm sure I have to tell it to change the track. So what do you want me to read in the chat? Two fire ant colonies, one Formica fusca colony, Lasius niger colony. Did I sneeze? I feel like I might have done. The mad scientists explain why the ants are useless for being absolutely slaughtered by beetles dropped on them. Which fire ant is featured? Invicta, the most popular one. It's not that I'm trying not to pay attention to the chat. Like, we've got a game to make here, and I'm in a massive rush because everything's dragged on too long. I don't need that. Okay. Forgetting what I've got in the clipboard. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Fine. Come on. It's almost done. Stay strong. Section timer. I think that's all of them. Let's get rid of these _2 off the end. So they're getting on my nerves. So I don't know if anything's going to be tied to the day-night cycle here, but it might be. So it's there just in case. Now, where's Tick? No, not you. It's there. Let's. Do you know what? Can I just. Collapse it like that and call it print out water height. It needs an input. No output. Okay. Sequence. To do that. That's fine. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, what's in the chat? It's not. Well, it is absolute chaos. I mean, the fish has died down now. The chat is definitely absolute chaos. Be a campaign level featuring Ubers or Fog of War. We talked about Fog of War in the campaign, and I think we decided against it. Otherwise, we'd be implementing it now, and I'm pretty sure we decided against it. But you raised a good question. I don't remember the concluding discussion. I'm pretty sure we decided against it because we hadn't implemented it for the levels earlier on, so it would be a bit disjoint. And there probably won't be Ubers. Because even though the game isn't that realistic, with ants not climbing up walls and they get killed by the water, which has been pointed out, there is a limit to sort of the campaign. We try to keep more realistic. Obviously not the scientist part, but the actual missions. There could be something like an Uber in the lab, though. It's got 2 ants in my shirt, and I've danced. That's nice. Coffee went everywhere. How much food cost is a 5 ant soldier? I'll have to check. I think it's 40. I'll just check now because we can make some. How did I make the action themes? In FL Studio, if you're familiar with that. FL Studio and some orchestral plugins, and the trick is that if you use orchestral plugins, with all the nice trumpets and everything, you don't have to do that much mastering, and you don't have to worry about all the complicated things people do in EDM, like side chaining and making sure everything's balanced with the bass and the mids and the highs. If you just set things up roughly like an orchestra, you got some mid strings, you've got some bassy noises, and you've got flutes and things. You sort of fill it out, and you can get away with it being an amateur. And then tunes is just whatever you're humming in the moment. It sort of evolves. Starts with a little 10-20 seconds and then goes from there. And I think I take a lot of inspiration from other things that I've listened to. All of the songs I think I can compare to something that I've listened to. Right, that's saved. Let's see if it works and doesn't crash. Alright, it's night time and it hasn't crashed. That's good. That's really good. Let's see if it's actually working. Let's make the length of the day 10 seconds. 15 seconds, come on, to be serious. Night can be 10 seconds. And we'll make the transitions, let's make everything 10 seconds. Let's see what happens. We should have speed days. Do you see any movement of the day? Oh yes. We can't see any shadows moving because there's nothing to cast shadows. But we've definitely got a day-night cycle. Oh, there, look, there's the sun. Off it goes. That's going down. It's getting late. You can hear the crickets. And off it goes. Night time again. Right, speed day night. Okay, now next thing to do, we've got that sorted. We are independently going to set the water level to go up and down and the creatures to spawn, right? So we're going to want some times for that. We'll put it in this tick timers, okay? So how should we set it up? And maybe just have a like some time. It's just one build up. Water goes down, and then the attack happens, doesn't it? So it's quite. Let's just go with. Time until next water movement. Let's go time off. You don't have to do any counting. Make that float, and I'll stick this in director. And then another one, duration of high water. Duration of low water. And the creatures will just sort of tag onto that with a sort of spawn and attack. Let's just make a time of next water movement. Water's going down, and then we're just going to want to time of next creature attack. Let's go with main creature attack. And then we'll have time of next main creature spawn. Okay, and then we'll set all of those up, but we'll have a function that is going to be called handle water movement and creature and main creature. That'll do. Crazy function name. And then we'll have a delta time input for that. What's happening in the chat? We're talking about abilities. Nice health of fire ants lose, they gain 1% more attack. And health buff if there is at least 25. Ah, right. So yeah, I like those things where creatures are nearby each other and they get a buff. I think. Oh, is there an ant that already does that? The army ants don't, do they? They just get more ferocious over time. I can't remember. tell you the truth, I can't remember what the fire ant abilities are. Fodder for bridges. What about this ability when a worker dies? These just sound like crazy ideas. Maybe I've just had to make a lot of them, and most were unhealthy. John sets up a lot of the abilities. That's why I can't actually remember what fire ants do. Like, we all sort of go through, have meetings and discuss what we want everything to do, and those sort of meetings happen far apart. Then everything gets written down in John's big notepad, and then the next we know it's been implemented. So I can't remember what we're doing with fire ants. I know that level 3 fire ants they do something special, but I can't remember the 2 variant options. You'll have to choose a variant for this. They're both variant options are based on the idea of having a lot of fire ants and recycling them quickly, using them as fodder. Okay, let's do this. So we want also some goals. Water low. Actually, no, yeah, we'll have that. We'll have that. Even though we don't really need it, right? So, time of next water movement. Get time. The game time is the game time greater than the time of the next water movement. Right. Not a sequence on this. We don't actually need a delta time coming into this one at all. Yeah, it doesn't even need an input, this function doesn't. What's it got? I don't think that's necessary. So if that's true, it's time to move the water. So where do we put? We've got some code that we kept, which is here. Let's have a look what this does. Water level loop, we don't need to do that because this is just a local thing, but we may as well set it. Branch that. If the water's low, it's going up. If it's high, it's going down. So we'll change the water level. We don't need that anymore. But actually, let's do that last. So let's set time of next water movement. If the water is low and it's going up, we need to get the duration of high water, and we need to add that to the game time. And then that's going to give us the time when the water goes down. Let's do that up there. And otherwise, if the water is high, we want to get the duration of the low water. Add that to the game time, and that's when the water is going to go down. And then, in both of these cases, we want to set the times of different things. So, if the water is low and it's going up, we're then going to want to spawn new creatures soon, right? And I think that should just be not long after. Did we get a constant for that? No, let's do water change duration. Or let's call it a delay. Let's call it delay, and then we'll give this a constant value. Well, we'll set it somewhere, but I mean, actually, I'll put a constant value in because I don't like the idea of that being too short. I'll put 10 seconds will be plenty. Okay. So we add on 10 seconds to the current time, and that's when creatures are going to spawn. 10 seconds after the water has come up, the creatures are going to start spawning, and if the water's going down, it's actually the same value, and that's when they're going to attack. And then when those are hit, we'll see how we do. We're going to change the water level now. Very nice. And then over here we've got another branch, which will be the time of next creature attack. And you know what? It's not really necessary, but it just might make it easier to stop things. Let's call it attack imminent, and spawn. So main creatures. Set these to true. And then only if we need main creature attack. That's fine. Pop this off. Pop that there. If that's the case, check the time, and if the timer is hit, we set main creature attack imminent to false. We don't need to set any more times because the water level changing sets all the times for us, and all we need to do is launch the creatures. So save, read the chat, so I probably missed loads of stuff. Reminds me of Scratch. I don't know what Scratch is. Have you ever used Click and Play? I used to play with that. Maybe Trapjaws with no queen. How about the Venus flytrap plant? Get the leaf cutters to eat Venus flytraps. I like the idea. I like the idea of being in a garden and surviving humans. Lots of people ask for that. It's something we'd like to do, but not yet. I'd love to see the ants harvesting a picnic. Okay. I'm gonna carry on. Yeah, anteaters. Some people mention anteaters as well. It's just a matter of, what would you do? Would you have a massive tongue that comes into the nest and then you have to fight it? I think if the anteater comes, you just maybe the anteater walks over ground and you have to hide from it and it doesn't find the nest. But if it sees one of your ants, that's it. You're in trouble then. What was I doing? I was trying to launch creatures. Where's the launch creature? Launch. We are launching on all 3 islands the main enemies. Very good. Launch creatures. I'm going to change the spawn time bracket to be equal to duration of high water, and then we'll have them all spawned by halfway through the duration, so they'll come out kind of slowly. So then the creatures are launched, and then we're going to want this on spawn imminent. Something similar to this, only it's the time of next main creature spawn. We'll set main creature spawn imminent to false, and we will send the creatures to wherever we send them. Send tracking bucket to swarm point, and they should all attack. Right, okay, so it's going to go through all of those. These will set it to nothing, so I'll just carry on doing this. Oh, this doesn't change. If the water is low, that's the last thing we should do. Set water low to false. Set it to true. My laptop's gone to sleep again. Come on. Wake up. Right. Now, with any luck, all we need to do is set up all the variables, with sensible starting values, and it should work independently of the day-night cycle. We're missing the patrol manager. Oops. Right, now let's go into these level setups, and I'm going to go into, what do we call them, level director variables, sort of like difficulties. This is unused at the moment. We want to set up all this stuff. Right. So let's say the water level. Should it start low or high? It should start high, shouldn't it? And it does start high. Does it say? Yeah, starting water level 3. So it starts high. So I'm going to set water low is false. Time of next water movement. Get the time and add on duration of high water. Do this. We need to make sure like none of this happens first, so let's have another variable. Make sure we don't confuse anything with moving the water before we've set up the water. So what I'll do is I'll add an extra pin, set that to true at the end of this. So you never know what actually goes first. You know, it's different sometimes when you package. Okay. Right. If the water, set the water to low, false. Time of next water movement is the duration of the high water. And then time of next creature attack. Neither of those need to be set because both of these are going to be false to start with. This delay is fixed at 10 seconds. That's what we've set. So actually we just need settings for these. They could be difficulty settings, couldn't they? High water and low water durations. So just in case we do add in different difficulties, I'll just stick them here so I know, but I'll leave them fixed for now. So let's have high water for like 30 seconds and low water for 30 seconds. It'll be much longer than that, but this is for, you know, so that tests don't take an age. There we go. Is there any other constants? I don't think anything else has to be set. Right, let's try it out. It is possible for DLCs to come out once the game is released. And we've got ideas for some things we'd like to do. You know, because of course we have too many ideas. But the game needs to be finished, you know, in some form so we can call it done. Because we don't want it in early access forever. So we've got an idea of what that looks like now. But there's, you know, it doesn't mean that it will be abandoned after that. Because that would just be really sad. So I'm sure there'll be lots of things going on for a long time. Alright, it's saved. If it crashes, doesn't matter. Let's see what happens. So the water level's high. I didn't put any timer on this. Like I did put a timer on it, but we don't know if the timer's, you know, really ticking away. We'll just have to see. In about 15 seconds, the water should go down. Do you think it will? Oh. It's done the wrong thing. Oh no, it hasn't. It hasn't. It's sent the water down. The water's low now. The creatures should start coming out. Okay, there's one. The creatures are supposed to come out when the water's high. So I've made a mistake. Now the water's going to come up. And the creatures are still spawning. And now they've tried to attack. Okay, right, and there's a problem. So some of these timings are wrong. The water starts at level 3. Duration of high water, which is 30 plus game time, is the duration, is the time of the next water movement, and then it starts. Okay, and then, you know, this is true. So we're going through this. That's true. And the water level though is false. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, water level change delay is not that much. Creature attack is imminent. Water low is now true. You know what? Creature attack should be, if water level, if water is true, low is false, the water is high, it should be spawn, shouldn't it? We got this the wrong way around. So water level is high, the water's, which means that the water's about to go down. If the water's about to go down, oh, that means that the creatures are about to attack. Ah, do I set water low is false? I don't like water low being false, I want water high. So this is high water, and we're going to make it low. If we're making it low, we're about to attack. That makes sense. The attack's imminent. It's true. The time is greater than time of the next attack. Set that to false. And we launch all the creatures. The problem is that right at the beginning they should start spawning, shouldn't they? Because the water's high. And they haven't. So there's an attack that goes on. Ah! I've got these the wrong way around. Sorry if someone's just told me that in chat. There we go. No one's watching what's actually happening, are you? You're just chatting about what ants you like. It's just an opportunity for a chat room with me droning on in the background. That's fine. Right. I think it's going to work now. Right. It's not going to spawn anything the first time, which I really should set up. I should set it up so it spawns straight away, or you know, maybe. Yeah, it should spawn straight away. What I've done wrong. What I did wrong was I've got 2 timers, one for when they spawn, when the creatures spawn, and one when they attack. And I'd connected them inversely, so I connected the spawn to attack and the attack to spawn. So what happened was when the water came up, nothing spawned, and when the water came down, they started to spawn. And the water came up, they tried to attack and couldn't get there because the water was in the way. So I've swapped them round now, but they don't start straight away, which I think is a bad thing. We'll have to make it one step earlier. That's easy. Fingers crossed they should spawn now. Now, please. There we go. There's one. Here they come. They're coming out. Water's going down. The water's down. And now they should really be attacking. Are they going to go? Yeah, they're going. This one isn't. Oh, off he goes. I'm not sure they're going to make it before the water goes up. You know, they didn't all spawn in time.
The battle has begun.
Oh, the battle's begun. Right, some of them came in. They didn't all spawn in time. I'm wondering if I've set them to spawn. I've put this time here, spawn time bracket, and it's the duration of the high water. Oh, divided by half. Right, that's a problem. Divided by 2. That's a problem there. So they were taking too long to spawn. And then they should go across. I want to start them straight away as well. So what we'll do is we'll set some things. We'll set creature spawn, imminent, like that. And we'll put this in the starting director variables. So it's the water level change delay, and then we'll put that time of next creature spawn, and then creature spawn imminent, and then we should start getting creatures right at the beginning. You want the drive around? The drive around, do you? We've already decided what creatures are going in the game up until the final release. In fact, if I type the wrong thing in here, you'll see them. They're all in this folder here. You'll find them all in there. You might even be suggesting some ants that are going to appear. Right. They should start spawning now. Should just take a couple seconds. There they go. They're coming out. They're coming out on all the islands. Okay. Everyone out, and when the water goes down, they have a little moment to think about it, and then they should all head for the player. They're really taking their time on. Okay, off they go. I've made it like a 10-second delay, which is probably a little bit long. But hopefully, if they can all make it up the ramp in time, that one's a real straggler. He's not gonna make it. No. But most of them got in. And now more spawning whilst this attack's going on. You've tried to recreate EOTU in Minecraft. I'd love to see that. Okay, now the water's gone, and just as we defeat that wave, another wave is coming. Yeah, we just want to make them think about it a little bit faster, and then of course the water will be low and high for much longer duration, so they'll, like, the stragglers won't drown like this one's going to over here. Oh, I just made it! Right. Okay, that seems to be working well. The problem is, with such quick water change durations, making a bridge is probably quite dangerous at the moment. I kind of like how they can attack at day or night though, because they're out of sync. That's quite nice.
The battle has begun.
I'll hold them all at the ramp. Oh, look at that. Pathing issues. Who's got the pathing issue? It's probably these guys that were attacking here. Oh, all the ants can't. This is interesting. Ah, do you reckon? Yeah, they're trying to get to one that they can't get to. Ah, it's the harvestable. Right, they're trying to get over here to harvest it, even though the food chamber's full. So I would have thought they'd have checked that first. But this is an interesting problem that's been revealed. Because they've died off in the water, they can't path to it, and they're getting stuck.
The battle.
Now, what should be happening is the
has begun.
The nodes on these that can be harvested should be getting deleted. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to make a note to deal with that. How do I stop them doing this now? If I turn off food collection, will they stop doing it? I might just have to move them out the way. Right, the water's gone down, so... Ah! No, it was the...
defend themselves.
The spiny devils got stuck and somehow didn't kill themselves. That's really interesting. Alright, got to fix that. Alright, let's make a bridge just for the sake of it. We'll attack over here. The water's dropped all the ants down. Well, that went quite well. Right. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. We just need to mess with the timings, maybe choose different army compositions for the 3 islands, so that the bridges are sensible. I definitely need to fix this ramp problem. So the next thing I like to do is sort out the spawns for these mini islands. So these are going to have goodies on them. So I'll do that now. I'm just going to just get a hot drink. So I'll just be 2 minutes. What's going on? What's been going on whilst I've been gone? I've got to see this Minecraft. I need some screenshots. EOTU Minecraft. Will there be water enemies? Some things will be able to float. Yeah. We've got different walking systems. One for just walking on water. Some things can get onto land on the ramps. And then one for bridges, and then one for just normal land creatures. Will there be a fire ant level that shows polygony? No. But we've got around that by just having well, you'll see in the level. Actually, the way fire ant colonies form is really interesting. When lots of fire ants land in nearby, like near to each other, there's a whole interesting mini fight that goes on, which I'd love to cover, but or maybe I'd love to do a mini level about that. Like everybody with just 10 colonies, but with very small numbers, and they swap workers and things and sort of have temporary alliances, but they're all trying to get the upper hand. It's really interesting. Want a water enemy? Coffee, tea. Yeah, I mean, at this time of day I would usually have a cup of tea, but we're out of milk, so it's just coffee. But I need something. I don't usually talk whilst I'm developing. It's usually quite silent when I'm not streaming. I don't say everything that I'm doing, so it's wrecking my throat at the moment. It's okay. Soothing it with coffee. Right, okay, back to it. So we've got half an hour left. I'm going to see if we can get little bonuses spawning on these mini islands. And then maybe we'll set up some underground so that we can sort of get a feel for what that'll look like. Turn off the cheats. And then start actually trying to balance the thing. Because there's not much more that needs to go on. You know, it's just a little demo level. Right, but what we did decide is that we definitely need a new patrol manager. And by the look of this widget, there isn't supposed to be more than one patrol manager, which I don't think there should be more than one patrol manager, but the way that it's set up, we're going to need more than one because we can't have can we track more than one bucket at a time? We can't have two different buckets that are spawning at different rates. There's only one rate per patrol manager. There's some global variables on the patrol manager that shouldn't be global. They should be per bucket. And I was going to try and crowbar that in at the start of the stream, but it looked like I was going to face a few problems. So I'll just make another patrol manager. It should be fine. If John wants to change that later, I'll have a word with him about it. So let's spawn a new one. Where did it put this one? Let's put them next to each other geographically. Over there. There we go. Another one. Okay, this one, I'm going to rename it. It's going to be fodder features patrol manager. Great. So we're going to have, we'll start with the first route, Island 1. It's Island 1-1 because it's coming off the end of Island 1. Although they could have the same names. Let's not confuse ourselves. Patrol points. We're going to need some patrol points. There we go. And we'll connect those up. We already made a spawn point there. Very nice. Colony ID can be -1, that's no problem. We'll randomize the patrol. And then we need the spawn classes. These are fodder. And again, just like last time, I've got to choose the classes, the level, the chance, and a multiplier there in case I want to change the danger mass. and I'm afraid I'm going to have to make my face big again to cover that up. Otherwise, you'll see all of the secret creatures. Or you might see them. I don't know. So please don't be scared by what's about to happen. There we go. And now you can't see what's going on. Okay, so what counts as fodder? Woodworm. I've gone. Laptop's gone to sleep again. Yeah, well, I mean, the woodworm is a good. It's a good fodder. Another one. What else? What else is good for just eating? Stuff that's really. I'll have some rove beetle larvae. But we won't. Rove beetle larva A, rove beetle larva B. Okay. Everything's in. I can return my face to normal. There we go. Jumping spiders. Autosave, stop it! Ah! Oh, I never make it in time. Fish, woodlice. Yeah, woodlice would have been good as well. Alright, well, I've got three. I'll just start with these. What I'll do, right, is we'll make the woodworm spawn chance 1, and we'll make the rove beetle larvae 0.2, so they're less likely. And that'll be the fodder team. And then down here, we want the normalized spawn mass. You know what? 100 black ants worth of goodies would be too much, so I'm going to go with 50. Let's root specifics. Oh shoot! What's this? Root specific spawn mass multiplier. Why would I need a multiplier when there's one per root anyway? Meh. I think that's an unnecessary. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Right. Okay. So it'll. What's this? Right, I suppose. I mean, maybe this is so that you could change it live. I'd just change this, to be honest. But yeah, multiplier might be easy because you can just stick that in as a part of the difficulty variable. Okay. No multiplier yet, I'm afraid. Multiplayer would be brilliant, but realistically, it'd probably be faster to start a lot of things again. I mean, it's not quite as extreme as the queen being able to attack situation. The effort not being worth the return. We don't exactly know how difficult multiplayer would be to implement. We just know that from experience we'll have made so many assumptions on there being no multiplayer early on in the first couple of years of development that we'll have set ourselves dozens of traps, and it could be really difficult. You know, it'd be one of those situations where we'd start working on it and then we'd have to tell everybody seriously we don't know how long it's going to take, and I don't want to go down that road again. We just want to we'll finish it and then figure out like what extra things we're going to tackle. So I'd love to have multiplayer, but I don't want to make everybody wait again for an update. Right. Island 1 fodder. We want the other islands set up. That's enough. We want some here. Someone can run up there. Okay. And let's go to the fodder patrol manager. Patrol routes. Island 2-1 is over here. 2 patrol points. Thank you very much. 1 spawn point. Random patrolling. 50 spawn mass to start with. We'll see how that feels. And then finally we've got one more patrol route. Island 3-1. We've got 3 patrol points. You, and you. We've got 1 spawn point. Not the tar grid, please. Spawner, thank you. Randomize mount 1. Spawn mass 50. There we go. So we've got our second patrol manager. I hope we can have 2 patrol managers. Would need to be at least 4 players. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to invest time in multiplayer if it was just 1v1. I think 4 is the minimum, really. But it's also a fair maximum. It's a nice number, 4 is. Okay. We need some new variables. We need to duplicate these. Time of next fodder creature spawn, and then time of next fodder creature to sleep. The fodder creatures aren't going to attack, and you're not going to be able to get them when the water's low because they're all going to hide. Well, actually, you wouldn't be able to get them when the water's low anyway, because there's no way of getting to those islands otherwise. But we don't want them to build up. It needs to be something that the player needs to go out and collect. And then I need to duplicate these. Fodder creature spawn imminent. Fodder creature to sleep imminent. Have I spelled imminent right? Duration. Blah blah blah. Yes. Okay. Let's put the fodder creatures spawn at the same time as the main creatures. Next fodder creature spawn. And then set that as imminent to true, so that's the start of the game. Then in these loops, when we set main creature spawn here, we're going to do fodder creature spawn as well. is exactly the same time. And then set fodder creature spawn imminent. And then the same as attacking, the fodder creatures go to sleep. So pop those in there. And connect that all to the same time. I'm going to change this to like 7. I don't think it needs to be so long as 10 seconds. And then we just need 2 more branches here. Actually, you know what? I mean, these all flick at the same time, but no, we will change. We will, because we might want them to. We might want to change these times later. So these don't necessarily need to be on separate branches. They could just follow these, but just in case you want to input different times into these 2 here, you know, because otherwise there was no need for us to do this. So we'll give ourselves the option. So this is going to be fodder creature spawn imminent. Time of next fodder creature. What? Attack spawn. You know what? I shouldn't have grabbed attack to do spawn because I've just confused myself. Yeah. Time of next fodder creature spawn. Set creature spawn imminent to false. Grab the other patrol manager. Stick it in there. That's the wrong. Using my what's it? This bucket is called fodder. It's going to be island 1, island 2, 1, island 3, 1. Get the right patrol manager there. The spawn class is fodder. Give this a different name just for the sake of it. Fodder bucket. We don't need a spawn mass multiplier. We'll make them come out faster, right? So that the fodder can come out quite quickly, so you can see what you've got. And then the final one is to send them to sleep, isn't it? So it's fodder creature to sleep. Time of next fodder creature to sleep. Set fodder creature to sleep imminent. Get the other patrol manager. Send tracking bucket to sleep. Tracking bucket is called fodder. And then all the fodder should go away. Save. The big crickets aren't going to... No, they're not going to start attacking right away. I'm just setting it up, really. So what we'll do is we'll change how many creatures spawn each night. Maybe there'll just be a couple on the first day, and they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. All we need to do that is grab the patrol manager, and like every time we do this, let's say launch creatures here, we can just get, or we'll have to get, let's see. Patrol routes. The patrol routes store the spawn mass. So you do something like. Can we change it? Is there any function for it? No. So you get the patrol routes, you do find, and then you'd find the name of the route, like Island 1, and then you'd break that, and then actually we need to set, this is just getting copies, so we actually have to set this thing. You see how this is normalized spawn mass? This is what we're looking at here, normalized spawn mass. But we'd make a function on patrol manager, update spawn mass by route, and then we wouldn't have to like mess with all this stuff in the blueprint. Just be a nice clean function. Right, did I save it? I think I did. I'm going to do it again. You're going to make the multi-colony thing real. Wait, in the was this in the Minecraft EOTU? You're going to do multiple colony fire ants. Right. Goldfish and Raid Shadow Legends. Let's go. I don't know what to do with this chat. Let's see what happens. I think we set everything up. Oh, look at that! Whoa! That's a lot of that's a lot of woodworm. Weirdly, no Spiny Devils came out. Is it not Spiny Devils? Rove Beetles. I have to have a look at that. I don't know if that code's working quite right. That was it's quite disgusting, isn't it? Delicious. These should all be going home now. And yet, they aren't. Was that plugged in? Pin 4? Creature to sleep imminent. Send bucket fodder to sleep. Yeah, something went wrong there. Ah! Wrong name. That's not the name of the tracking bucket, is it? There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna make a note that I want to look at. Because these spawn chances. In the fodder group. Too low. quite a lot of road beetles are coming out now. There's not a... I mean, it can't be just a coincidence, but it's not like an integer, like a rounding or something. Yeah, I bet that's what it is, isn't it? I mean, that's really bad. There's definitely a problem. So I'll look at that, but maybe I can just what's it? Do that. Yeah. That's alright. Although, yeah, the ratio looks alright. How disgusting's that? The Maggoty Islands. I don't know why the fire ants would want to go to the promised land. Like, inaccessible swarm point. Some of these guys aren't going home. A load of them struggle to get home.
The ants must fight.
That's weird. So I'll have a look at that. Oh, more of these are coming out now. They should have been able to get home. I don't know what happened there. I'll have to fix that. Right. So with it being the end of the stream, practically, there's only one thing left to do. See, now that we've set all this up, we can completely change how the level works just by tweaking a couple of numbers here. So high water can be 2 minutes, and low water can be 2 minutes, and then I'll give us time to attack. And then let's go to the fodder manager and just go down to here and let's do something a bit silly. Yeah. Right, the flow will be a bit slower because the duration's much longer, but then there's 4 times as many, so let's go for it. Let's go see how many we can kill. Got to get past the crickets.
The battle has begun.
These guys should be scanning more when they're on the way to do the bridge. I need to make a note of that. Right, so this is what it'll look like. Let's make somewhere for them to drop off food. I need to make a note. Fight on way to Bridgehead. The ants are far too distracted by trying to make the bridge. Oh, look at that! It's like they're transporting the colony. Delicious grubs. We run out of space. Oh, we're not allowed anymore. We got all we could. We need to make sure they despawn. Yeah, a lot of these have died on their own. I don't know why they're so. Do you know what? I wonder if when they change colony ID, because they do that sometimes for the fighting, they're doing a bit too much. If they're unable to return to their spawn point because their swarm point's got the wrong colony ID, something like that maybe. Anyway, that was quite satisfying. I think it's a nice way to end the stream. I don't know how to respond to the chat again. Over the ring. The Fellowship of the Ants. Why is there like ant movies? Overwatch Ant. Valorant Ant. There'll be a warning for when the water level changes. Yeah, I think we'll just stick a timer at the top, letting you know. It's not so bad when the water goes down because your ants will just fall to the floor and then they'll head home anyway. Unless they're on they're right into those tiny islands, then they'll get confused and die. All right. Okay, so I don't know when I'll be streaming again. This level's got to be finished really fast. Unless I'm streaming imminently, I'll have to work on it off stream. But I don't know. I might have time for one. Maybe tomorrow. I don't think I can do one on Wednesday. I'll see when we're going to be carrying on. And we can get the goldfish properly integrated into the level. Right. Okay. See you later, everybody. Streaming. Bye-bye.